We're good. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. We really appreciate it. This is the second webinar that we're doing post-challenge. My name is Justin Stellman. This is Kate Stellman and Dr. Bergman.
Hi.
And we're going to be talking about today the 3 Stressors course that we just released and launched inside the Academy. And we're having some technical difficulties right now, so we will not be able to to announce the winners for the challenge. So unfortunately, we're going to be doing that tomorrow.
Have you ever tried to get on the internet and your computer doesn't work? Please. I mean, if you got a little like empathy here, I want to throw a brick at the computer, but Justin thought that it wasn't going to be a good idea.
It might not work out.
You might need to use that a little bit tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah, so we'll announce that. How are we going to announce it tomorrow?
So we will announce that on Dr. Bergman's Facebook channel as well as the Xtreme Health Academy YouTube channel.
Okay.
We'll do 2 different videos for that. So that'll be cool.
Sorry, guys.
So today we're going to be talking about the 3 Stressors course, which just got published yesterday inside the Academy, which is awesome.
This is really cool. I mean, if you're looking at the source of disease, and we talk about 3 stressors. I mean, we're talking all the stress that you could possibly imagine can be boiled down into 3 different categories. This is vital because without stress, you die. With an inappropriate adaptation to stress, you also die. And stress now, I mean, it's misdiagnosed. If you've ever heard of type 2 diabetes, if you've ever heard of high cholesterol, high blood pressure, anxiety, stress, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel, fatigue, fibromyalgia, chronic regional pain syndrome, all of these are the end result of chronic physical, chemical, or emotional stress.
Wow.
Bam!
Bam, all of it. So can it be said that all disease is related to stress? Is every single disease process in the body some inability for the body to not be able to communicate and there's a stress response? Adapt to it?
Exactly.
Is that
The
what's going on?
inability and the adaptation, because once your body can adapt, it's like
What it should be, right?
Exactly.
Right.
One of the examples that we use is that there used to be a torture called the death of 1,000 cuts, and you could heal from 100 cuts. You can heal from 500 cuts. Eventually, the stress of those cuts exceed your body's ability to regenerate. And one of the big things is physical, chemical, and emotional stress. Your body responds the same way to all 3.
How does it do that?
Yeah,
Through
that's
raising inflammation markers and...
Kind of. If you think about it, think about your body is being chased by a tiger, and this goes back to primal ways. We have this automatic nervous system composed of 2 parts. One part keeps us alive under stress, that's the sympathetics. The other part regenerates tissue, that's the parasympathetics. So the body has to have this balance of stress and regeneration, stress and regeneration. Okay. So if you're driving along or and somebody cuts you off, bam, the fight or flight kicks in.
We were stressed coming here. There was a ton of traffic, so trying to get here on time.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the way the human is supposed to work, or the way our animal species is supposed to work, once that stress is passed, then beautiful, then the parasympathetic, then we can go graze.
Shake it off like a dog, move on.
Exactly, except that's not what happens in modern society. In modern society, we've got stress of the commute, stress of the work, stress of the job, stress of this. Right. And then you feel bad because under physical, chemical, or emotional stress, if you're being chased by a tiger, you don't want blood going to digestion. The digestion is... it takes a lot of energy. The immune system is metabolically expensive. So you have all of these challenges to physical, chemical, and emotional stress that your body's going to respond in this fight or flight state.
Okay.
And so your heart rate's going to be elevated, blood pressure's going to be elevated, blood sugar's going to be elevated, cholesterol's elevated.
So the modern life is what is keeping us all in this fight or flight state, constantly stressed.
Kind of, but you can have a job where you're working 14, 15 hours a day. You can have this modern lifestyle if you're able to recognize it. The psychosis now, and this is the big one, is people are abdicating authority over their health to these medical professionals that are checking vital signs.
Okay,
They're checking blood tests, and they're seeing wow, you have type 2 diabetes, you have high blood pressure, you have high cholesterol, you have anxiety, you have bowel disorders. And they're not saying this is the cause of an intelligent stress response. They're saying you have, bam, this disease. They label it, then they give you a medication when the underlying cause of that disease is a stressor. And then they're further stressing you by adding a medication. So it's not only a vicious cycle, but this is why over 100,000 people a year die from the right drug at the right time in the right dosage.
Yeah, 100,000 people.
Is it that many properly prescribed?
Well, it's actually 128,000 according to the Journal of the American Medical Association.
Die every year
Every
from
year.
the right medication at the right time and the right amount.
For the right diagnosis.
For the right diagnosis.
Yeah.
Wow.
So everything was done correctly.
That's crazy.
But here's the challenge. I mean, if you have high blood pressure because something is broken, fix it. If you have high blood pressure because of chronic stress response, and you take a medication like a diuretic, beta blocker, ACE inhibitor, something, okay, to lower it, we know that for every one blood pressure drug you take, your risk of stroke increases a third.
Yeah.
30%.
Wow.
If you're on 3 blood pressure medications, and we've had people with like 5 and 6 blood pressure medications that come in. If you're on 3, your risk of stroke is greater than if you had completely uncontrolled blood pressure.
Well, you were telling me before we started recording that there was a patient that came in recently that was on 9 different
9.
medications. What's the most amount of medications? I was going to ask you before. What's the most amount of medications you've seen someone be on?
32 prescriptions, and it was a trip. The most darling little gal. She was like 5'2", grandma.
Wow.
And she was completely, because these are drug slaves.
Yeah.
She was entrenched in the medical system, and they even say, it's a silent killer. There's not much you can do. You're going to be on this the rest of your life. And so she trusted her doctors, and so she took the pills. And I'm saying, dear, we've got to check your blood pressure. Okay, if your blood pressure is too low and you're taking blood pressure drugs to lower it even further, then we need to develop a dialogue with the doctor that gave it to you. And she said, no. He's my doctor. You're my chiropractor.
Oh.
Okay. And so we took her blood pressure, and it was like 90/60. It was like pathologic.
Wow.
If I had blood pressure like that, I couldn't walk across the clinic.
Yeah.
So a week and a half into care, she gets in a car accident. Thank God it was just one vehicle, and I think she ran into a parked car.
Okay.
And the police arrested her for drunk driving. And she says, no, I'm not driving drunk. These are all prescriptions.
Oh.
And so she lost her license, and
Wow.
it was just...
That's incredible.
Wow.
Because they're abdicated authority over this.
Right.
But the reason that they're giving these prescriptions, because it's called polypharmacy, but there's tons of evidence that shows that multiple prescriptions are damaging to the physiology of the body.
Do we know how many, I guess it would vary per medication, but on average, do we know how many chemicals are in one medication?
Well, nobody knows how most of the drugs work. If you look at...
Because you might have thousands of different interactions going on.
Look at it, drugs are going to do one of two things. They're going to block a receptor site on a cell or poison an enzyme. This is why when you see those beautiful people running through the field on the TV commercial,
They're great.
and then they...
With a scarf behind them.
With a
always.
scarf behind them.
A sheet.
I want to run through the field too. Okay, when you see that, and then they have the cartoon character, because that's non-threatening, and they say, for sure, don't be exposed to tuberculosis, or if you've had type 2 diabetes, and don't be around kids if you're taking this. It's
Right.
It's going to be toxic, and they run through that really, really quickly. But all drugs either block a receptor site on a cell or poison an enzyme. Nobody knows what to do together.
Yeah.
If you look at all the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, the Prozacs, the antidepressants, it says clinical pharmacology or mechanism of action is unknown. Like, do you know how Tylenol works?
Yeah.
No.
They don't.
No.
Nobody does. Clinical pharmacology is unknown. Its
Wow.
mechanism of
And
action
there's
is unknown.
just too many medications to, even if you wanted to test them all together, there's no way. There's no
Yeah,
humanly
you couldn't
way-
do it, yeah.
No way possible.
That's how
Yeah.
you open up a dialogue, because and this goes on everybody out there, because I know, you know, it's like, now it's the frustration. Okay, I've got this doctor that I trust, you know, he's educated, and he's told me that I have type 2 diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol, anxiety, stress, depression, joint pain, you know, whatever.
Right.
Okay, so you're taking those 6 or 7 or 8 or like tonight 9 medications, and what do you do? Okay, how do you do it? So the one question that I ask everyone before we start a conversation, I say, okay, look, you and me, and I'm talking to you people that are taking multiple prescriptions, okay? And this is the tough part, because sick people need drugs. However, if you give those same medications to a healthy person, what happens? They get
Sick.
and wasn't that good timing? Okay, it was almost like we had planned it.
It's
He
true.
wasn't gonna answer. I
And,
was.
and it's true. It's
Yeah, it's
true.
true.
Well done.
So that's the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they know. Okay, so now and this again, 100% of the people, because you gotta meet them where they're at. They're in this fear slavery mindset.
Right. And that's
Okay.
what we need to break.
Absolutely.
We have to break that mindset.
That's why
You know?
the three stressors, okay, talking about the autonomic nervous system is the key. That's
Right.
the key.
Yeah.
If we're left alone on a desert island.
So what do we do to educate people? Because this is one of the things that I see, having done all the shows that we've done, and you see it, and is people tend to give up, like you said, give up their authority over their own health to perceived authority figures in white lab coats. What do we do to empower people to be able to, for them to be the first guiding light for themselves? That's what we need to get to, is for someone to take responsibility for their own health and start understanding that it comes from them and not from a test or from a doctor. What do they do?
That's the key.
That's
Okay,
the key.
okay, I know the answer. It's like, pick me. I know this one.
Well, there's only 3 to choose from. I'm gonna pick you.
Well, I mean, the kids aren't
kids-
ready yet.
They'll have an
they're-
opinion in the future.
You'll see a hand come
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Gosh, no. Not yet.
Talk about well-educated. What you do is you start with changing belief systems. And belief systems are a combination of knowledge given to you by authorities. So your parents taught you, your teachers taught you. You take that knowledge and then you take life experience, other aspects that you've learned, and you form your belief system. So, you know, whether your belief system is the world is round or the world is flat, whether we've been to the moon or not been to the moon, you know,
Right.
whether flu shots are good for you or not good for you. You know, it's based on what you were taught and what you gained. So you
Right.
give them appropriate knowledge. And you also give them pattern interrupts. So if you and me were left on a desert island, you had no access to your pharmaceuticals. You only had fresh water, fresh fruit, fresh fish, fresh plants to eat. Would your health improve or decline? Guess what 100% of people that take multiple prescriptions say?
They'd say improve.
Improve! I've never had someone
Always.
say,
So
well,
get a ticket to a desert island.
I'd probably
I know,
die.
right? Yeah.
Is it just because they're here in this world where it's like because they can't get to a desert island, they just feel so trapped? It's like, I can't live like this because I'm not on a desert island, so I have no options. So I
No,
have
they-
to give in to
They
like.
don't know.
Do they not trust their body?
They don't
That's
trust
the
body.
thing. That's the thing,
They
right?
totally don't trust the
Yeah.
body.
That's
Yeah.
what it comes
And
down
that's
to.
the thing with the stress, or when we're talking about the nervous system.
Yeah.
Your body is intelligent. And we even did a health talk a few weeks ago where we had a medical doctor there, and I said, we were talking about cholesterol, how cholesterol is a vital component of every hormone. It's 50% of your overall weight of the brain. It's the outside covering of every cell you need. There's multiple studies that high disease rates start with low cholesterol, and cholesterol doesn't clog arteries. And
Right.
I'm presenting all this facts and data. And I said, well, the body's intelligent. And he says, I don't think so. And it was such a pattern interrupt for me because I work with people. I work with people a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
every day Clinic sees over 1,000 people a week. We've been doing
Yeah.
this is my 22nd year in practice.
Wow.
So I've seen people cancers, every disease you can imagine, people's body recover. I've seen broken bones heal. I've seen, I mean, everything.
For like impossible.
Everything. But this is how the bodies work. Bodies are intelligent. They're self-healing and self-regulating. And this is like a premise. The body is self-healing and self-regulating. That's it. And so you go to that. Why is the regulation mechanism responding different?
Right.
Like, why is the blood pressure elevated? Why is the blood sugar elevated? Why is the cholesterol elevated? What's the physical, chemical, emotional stressors? Doctors aren't saying that.
So what's happening is that someone's cholesterol is rising as a result of a toxic lifestyle. Well, yeah, I mean, for
Or
different
maybe
reasons.
you're
Different
building
reasons.
children.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
you're
because
building
mine was
babies.
like, and I'm like, I'm not worried about it. I have
Yeah.
2 kids and
You're
they're
building
like,
babies.
But
So
people freak
someone's
out.
living a toxic lifestyle, their blood pressure or their cholesterol is rising. So they're living in a constant state of stress, right? But the problem is that they don't understand that. So they don't see their life as being something that they need to change in order to lower these numbers.
That's
So
the key.
they're stuck in this sort of worldview that they don't understand that. So what they're trying to do is they say, okay, well, my blood cholesterol levels are really high. I need to lower them, and then I need to take this pill. But the pattern interrupt for them is to tell them and to educate them, which is what we do inside the academy, is that our environment is really what's causing our body to react to it and our lifestyle and where we live.
Absolutely.
And so that's what we need to explain and empower people to know, is that their current toxic lifestyle is what's causing these numbers to change, right?
It is. It's
Yeah.
toxicity and deficiency. And it's an intelligent response to the body. And then people come up, I mean, the gal I was talking to last night, I mean, she's from England. And I was kind of hoping the UK physicians were smarter than ours, but they're not. Okay, so
Same.
she said, well, what's a normal blood pressure? And I said, well, it kind of depends on what you're looking at.
It's 120 over 80. I just want to let you know that.
Joint National Committee
everybody.
6, that's in 1994. So
Yeah.
it was changed in 2004 to 115 over 75. Then it was changed in 2014 to an age-based one of 150 over 90 unless you're over 60.
Okay.
And then the American College of Cardiology broke from that because there weren't enough people on drugs, and they brought it down to 130 over 80.
Whoa.
Just based on an age.
I don't know. Anybody have any dice?
This
Let's
is so
roll it.
weird.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
Yeah.
Okay, what's an appropriate blood pressure for a water buffalo? Okay, somebody that's a water buffalo that's 70 years old versus a water buffalo that's 12. You know,
Right.
what's the factors in that? See, what people are going to look at, and this is the doctor of the future stuff, because we're still in an ignorant world.
Right.
We're one number for everybody. Doesn't matter what their lifestyles are, whether they're dehydrated, fast food, their blood's thick and toxic. Okay, the blood's not healthy, so the pressure has to go up to adapt to this
It's standard of care.
standard of care.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
God, everybody's got to have the same number. That's stupid.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
Yeah. Well, so the issue with doctors is that if there's no standard of care, I think that's related to the pharmaceutical industry. But if there is no pharmaceutical industry, the doctors would have to spend too much time with each patient to figure out and try to figure this stuff out,
Yeah,
right?
but what if outcomes were considered?
Right?
Okay, no, I'm not talking like, Joe, you come back in and your blood pressure is 120 over 80, but now you have sexual dysfunction because you have low blood pressure, you
Right.
can't sleep, and you can't poop.
Right, right.
Okay? Yeah, but your blood pressure is normal. Good job, Joe.
Right,
Okay,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
So what if the doctor was talking about every aspect? It's called holistic, but it's just normal. It's just common
It's just
sense.
healthy living.
Healthy living.
Yeah.
You know, so you go in there and say, hey, you know, this is a stressor. It's an appropriate response to stress. So we're going to look at your lifestyle. We're not just going to give you a beta blocker, diuretic, ACE inhibitor, or whatever. We're going to actually look at your lifestyle and find out, because stress is good for you, but too much stress can cause your body to break down tissue faster than you're building up.
So inside the course, we go through, don't we, all of the different areas to look
Yeah.
at in terms of lifestyle, right? So
Absolutely.
like where to go, where to look, and to understand where people's lifestyles are off.
And what to
Right.
check. What's the objective analysis?
Right.
Because, I mean, I work, 10, 12, 14 hours a day sometimes, okay? And I like it. It would, you say, why don't you take a day off and sit on a beach? No, I wouldn't like that. You know, give me a motor to work on or something on the
a
beach, you know,
sailboat to be-
power
yeah,
boat.
that'd be something
I'd be
different.
totally okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is an appropriate stress response? You know, then you, if you have an objective analysis, able to check your blood pressure in an appropriate fashion, that's what we go through.
Okay.
How would you like to be able to check your blood sugar in an appropriate fashion? How'd you like to be able to get deep sleep every night? Guaranteed.
Yeah, yeah.
Guaranteed. Within 5 days, we show how to do it. And that means getting to sleep, sleeping all the way through the night, not having to get up to pee.
That's huge.
And that's massive. That's massive.
How about
For
sleeping?
everybody.
For
Men,
everybody.
women.
Men, women, and both.
Poop,
Yeah.
All
pooping
ages.
2 to 3 times a day, healthy, good bowel movements.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. How about a mental attitude where you wake up and you want to get out of bed, you want to achieve life? All of those tools, and all it is just common sense, normal, and to break down the fear and to break down that slavery cycle
Yeah.
of, no, my doctor says I have.
Well,
This.
there's the doctor of the future, but then there's also the patient of the future too. And I think that's where we need to go.
He's on to something.
Right? We need to combine these two.
I like him too. No, but you're right.
It's true.
That's a good point.
Because you could be your own doctor if you're your own patient and you understand how to work with your body. And so this is really, really empowering because I see so many people, you see it too, with just giving all of their health authority over to somebody, and it's sad to see. It's really sad to see because you realize that by living a healthy lifestyle, you know, you could prevent so many of these issues with people. So many of them you can prevent.
Yeah.
Just by doing easy things every single day, which we talk about in the course, but it's incredible.
There was one of the speakers, and this guy, 20 years ago, I heard him. The quality of your life depends on the quality of questions you ask. And
Wow.
that quote came back when you said
Wow.
the patient of the future. Oh
Yeah.
my God, patient of the future will not be accepting this. Okay,
Yeah.
you have high blood pressure. Take this pill. Really, doc? Why? How do you measure that? What's a normal one? What's causing it? If I got something that's busted on me, tell me what's broken.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh,
And start asking questions.
that's
better
like
questions.
that's like bam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about sleep. You were talking about this because this is one of the modules inside the course that we just
Yeah.
created. So when someone's sleep is off, it's going to affect so many other physiological and biological processes down the line. And so a lot of times people are doing all really great things, eating a good clean diet, they're exercising, they're getting sunshine, all these things, but their sleep is not optimal. So let's talk a little bit about that in general, why sleep is so important and what it does and how it affects our health a little bit.
What's essential about sleep is the period of deep sleep. It's called rapid eye movement. And you go through 90-minute cycles of this.
Okay.
And so when you're sleeping, that's when the parasympathetic, because we always go back to the nervous system, you literally live your life through the nervous system. The stress side is the sympathetic side. That's the fight or flight. And that's active generally during the day, but we got to balance. At nighttime, that parasympathetic. It's called rest, digest, and repair. Digest and repair. So this is your body literally getting the amino acids, fatty acids, and usable sugars to regenerate tissue. You build your body at nighttime. You interrupt sleep patterns, your body starts to break down. Okay, and it breaks down quickly. That's why in interrupted sleep patterns, you're talking high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes. All of these are an intelligent response for that chronicity of stress.
Okay.
And this means if you're getting up at night to pee, because this is how the body works. You go through a 90-minute cycle. Every 90 minutes, your eyes open, then they close, even though you're asleep. And if there's
Wow.
any visual stimulus there, bam, this fight or flight system kicks in.
Okay.
Because remember, you were in this almost near comatose state called rapid eye movement, where your body is dead to the world. So every 90 minutes, your eyes open, and if there's, to check the cave.
Right.
If there's a visual stimulus there, bam, you got to get up. If you're sleeping with the TV on, bam, that's going to be a constant irritant. If you're watching electronic devices before you go to bed,
Right.
that's going to interrupt melatonin production. Okay, so there's There's so many things that are interrupting our sleep pattern and sleep environment. How many times have you laid down and you're trying to sleep, and then you get this thought come in, then this other thought come in, then this other thought come in.
Everybody.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we're going to show techniques on how to quiet the overactive mind,
Okay.
how to deal with the environment, and since we're an animal species on the planet, we have natural circadian rhythms, and we're going to show how to reset that button so that you can
That's
achieve the
massive.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, that's massive.
What I tell
No, it is fun
what
because
I tell-
nothing's better than sleep.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
yeah.
I tell the patients, I say, look, you're really a wonderful person, but you suck at sleep. Okay, we really got to get you better at this.
Yeah.
You suck at sleep.
That's
You
so
suck
funny.
at sleep.
You don't think of sleep being something that you're involved in, like being a part of.
Yeah,
You
you're
think
good
it
at it.
happens to you. But
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
setting
exactly.
yourself up. I mean, to get a good sleep, you have to
Is-
be an
is-
active participant.
Is sleep a skill set?
I think so.
It is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
People don't think so, but it truly is.
I think it's like the rolling of the dice, like you said, like, I hope I sleep good tonight, it's like they're not doing the things to properly, like, prepare, at least to give yourself the best shot.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too, is leading up to the sleep time. It's like, preparing for that and setting the lighting and slowly but surely
Winding
down. And so it's not like you're just looking at a screen and then all of a sudden you try to go to sleep, or you leave the TV on. So it's like preparing for that. It's a process.
But we don't really do that anymore because we don't live in the old days where the light would
No.
go off and you had light candles, you got sleepy earlier.
Yeah.
Or more like electronics, shut it down, try to go to bed.
Yeah.
I
hard.
like the whole candle thing. That'd be
Oh,
cool.
I love the
I
candles.
know, right? It'd be great.
Yeah.
So
Let's go back to candles.
in another area of the course, there's some videos you did on over-exercise as a stressor. And I thought that was really interesting, so I'm just curious what your thoughts are.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Over-exercise or
Over-exercise.
under-exercise. Yeah. Both are extremes of two sides of the same coin. Super ultra athletes tend to die earlier because I don't think I brought up the nervous system yet, but we've got this autonomic nervous system and that sympathetic, that fight or flight, and it's activated under extreme sports. And if you're in that state all the time, but this is weird. It's also kind of a cool clue that how do you know if your autonomic nervous system is functioning correctly? If you're an adrenaline junkie, you're probably in a sympathetic dominant state. Okay. And if you have trouble shutting off,
Okay.
you probably have a nervous system or autonomic imbalance.
That's
Okay.
probably a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah, but then you get these
80%.
people that work their butts off and they're very, very, aggressive, but then at nighttime they're able to shut down.
They crash.
Interesting.
And then they can do it. So those are people that have aggressive activities that are in balance. We get people all the time, gosh, doc, I work out 7 days a week, I'm there 6 hours a day, everything's fine, and my doctor says I got high blood pressure, high cholesterol. How can I do it? I can't work out more, and
Yeah,
I think,
yeah,
well, wait a second, okay, how are you pooping? Well, once every other day. How are you sleeping? Horrible. I don't sleep good at all. Get up at 4 times a night to pee.
Yeah.
And you find out that they're not able to initiate that parasympathetic activity so their body can regenerate.
Yeah, so with a lot of like endurance athletes, you see this buildup, this massive buildup in their bodies of lactic acid.
Yeah.
And there's been correlations between that and disease processes like cancer. And so this acidic kind of environment in their bodies, if they're not able to dispel that they're running for marathons a day kind of a thing. And so over exercise, we were never meant to exercise that much, It's a lot.
There's a balance.
Definitely a balance. So in terms of chemical stress, we talked about medications, and what about antibiotics and flu shots, and how are these affecting people, do you think?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and the not so dramatic stuff. You think about we're talking today about women just being, all the products they use people were using
Makeup,
thousands of stuff on our,
hair dyes,
right around our faces that we're breathing all day. It's not even just going to get shot up with a vaccine. It's like we're living in a soup of chemicals.
So a lot of this stuff too is like people aren't understanding a lot of times because they don't feel a stressor.
Right.
So like you could go, you just put hairspray on or put on makeup. You don't feel that that's a stressor. So part of the education in the course is letting everyone know in terms of all these things that are stressing us. Like, how do we know that these things are stressing us when it doesn't feel like it? Like Wi-Fi signals, these types of things. You know, so yeah, I want to.
When you look at a chemical stressor, okay, anything you put on your skin, you better be able to eat.
Okay.
Wow, yeah.
Okay, we just had that gal with the 9 prescriptions. She has this big tub of cream that she puts on because her skin's dry. Yeah, if I was taking 4 blood pressure drugs, an osteoporotic drug, 2 asthma drugs, even though you don't have asthma, okay,
Yeah.
and they just removed a cancerous lesion from the leg and they're thinking about some radiation, and you know, it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, if you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are obvious chemical stressors. You're right. The soaps you use, that Purell stuff, has got cancer-causing agents
That's
in it.
gnarly.
That there's emotions are chemical stressors. People don't understand that.
So why would an emotion be a chemical stressor?
Let's say you look at something that like baked bread. Okay, you can smell that, look at it, see it, and you think, oh man, grandma used to beat me with that loaf. So your brain is going to secrete adrenaline,
I
cortisol
see.
just based on that.
Right.
Or if you go, baked bread, oh my gosh, that was my grandma fed me and I loved it. Okay, so dopamine and serotonin. So based on your past programming is going to be that emotional or chemical response. It's interesting, sleep is also a chemical stressor.
Is it?
If
How
you're,
so?
Think of this, if you're not getting deep sleep, your body goes into the fight or flight.
Okay.
So cortisol is going to be elevated, adrenaline's going to be elevated. So ineffective sleep that doesn't regenerate the body tissue. Okay, you're going to be in that fight or flight state, and that means the liver's going to break glycogen down to glucose, cholesterol is going to be elevated, cortisol is going to be elevated, thyroid's going to be suppressed. How many people today are misdiagnosed with a low-functioning thyroid?
Right.
Or Hashimoto's. Oh my
It's rampant.
gosh.
Yeah, everyone.
Super rampant.
And it's so easy to develop a dialogue
Yeah.
Right.
with these people. You know, oh, you have Hashimoto's? Well, is it a hyper, hypo, or both? And they look and they, well, not both? Yeah, that's right. So sometimes it works too much, sometimes it works too
Right.
little. So does that sound like a disease or a body that's going through this stress response? So you
Yeah.
fix the stressors, Hashimoto's goes away
Wow. And you've seen that.
all the time. All the time. I
Wow.
mean, it's predictable too, because the body, and this is where there's a big challenge, the body is self-healing and self-regulating. Fact.
So that right there, that concept is one of the main concepts in the first course that we did, that the body is self-healing and self-regulating. And that's one of the things that it's really challenging to get to beat into people, to understand that your body is a self-healing, self-regulating machine that is incredible in its healing capacity. And to understand that and trust that is massive. It's huge. That's the whole thing.
And it's
You
it's so much fun to see people like they glow, and I mean, you literally see the whole body. Well, yeah, I'm taking 8 drugs, you know, to where really all I got to do is check my blood pressure, and if it's too low, I can talk to my doctor and I can stop. Really, all I got to do is educate them on cholesterol.
Right.
The osteoporosis drugs actually increase fractures, so all I got to do is give data to my doctor, because that's what I tell the patients. I say, look, I'm giving you this data that shows that these drugs are not beneficial, that are toxic. I want you to give this to the doctor and have the doctor tell you, well, sure, that study says that it increases fracture rates and it's for osteoporosis, but I'm smarter than your physiology.
Yeah.
I think it's. I think
That's
it's,
what's happening.
It's the glow of empowerment, though.
It is.
That's what it is. When
It
you
is.
feel confident in something, you're like, I might not have the answers, but I feel confident there's hope for that, or that,
Right.
you know, I'm not going to be this way forever, or I can make changes, regardless of what someone tells me. I think that it's glowy in itself. You're like, okay, maybe I can do this.
The neat stuff.
You know? Maybe
All
my
they
body
do,
can do this.
They switch to a plant-based diet. Man, you check your blood sugar, it starts to normalize.
Yeah.
Quickly, too, huh?
Yeah, within a
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
By doing the objective analysis of checking blood pressure, just by doing breathing, drinking more water, you start to see it go too low. And then
Yeah.
you develop a dialogue and you start scaling back the drugs, you know,
Yeah.
with the doctor's approval, because they know that the diuretic is going to cause a heart attack eventually. You know, I mean, they know this stuff is damaging.
Right.
You know, and when you stop it, you see the blood pressure still the same.
How many people have you seen? What's the highest amount of medications you've seen someone on that has gotten all the way back down to 0?
Oh, 18.
18.
So they were on 18 medications.
18 medications.
And they got all the way down to 0.
Yeah, it took about 2 months.
2 months?
Wow.
That's nothing.
Oh, but the coolest
That's
guy.
amazing.
Okay, this was a guy that was taking 11 prescriptions, and it was costing him, and this was like 15 years ago, 11 prescriptions, and he said, Doc, no, it was 18 prescriptions, and it was like $1,200 a month or something.
Wow.
He said, you get me off of this, I'm getting a Harley. And so it took about 3 months. He was off all the drugs, and he
Wow.
bought himself a Harley Davidson.
He could
That's
have Harleys for
incredible.
like every 3 months for the rest of his life. The amount he was spending on that.
And
That's really great.
You know, we're talking just a regular guy. You know, I think he was a contractor. You know, 40 pounds overweight, but you know, just standard
Well,
stress.
impacted
Yeah.
So it's possible.
Well, I think this is important because a lot of people that are already Academy members in the forum, so many people are like, I'm here to be healthy, I'm trying to get off medications. So many people are talking about that's what they're here for,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
to get off medication.
Super easy.
It's
Yeah.
awesome to hear you say that because people are like, how do I do this safely?
The
How do I?
first thing is don't take 2 drugs together. Separate them by an hour would be wonderful, and drink a full glass of water in between.
So would you say
practical.
if someone's on like 10 medications, how would they do that?
Separate them by a half hour.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, separate them by an hour is the best.
Okay.
Okay. Half hour, but drink more water because these drugs are killing you. They're polluting your body, and the solution to pollution is dilution. So you get some water.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would most doctors say when people tell them, I mean, are people that are doing this safely and they're checking with their doctor or whatever, I'm sure a lot of doctors aren't on board.
Oh no, 100% they won't be.
Yeah, that's hard. So how do you encourage people to,
I tell the conversation that the doctor's going to do. Like if you're taking.
in the doctor voice I like?
Oh yeah, all the time. And I do it with my patients too because it's a sick comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These people that are responsible for your health, or you know that they're supposed to have studied anatomy and physiology and neurology, and they're supposed to have all of this knowledge, and it's not there. No one's saying, look, you know, the cardiologist doesn't talk to the gastroenterologist, doesn't talk to the endocrinologist, doesn't talk to this person. By the time you go to all of those specialists, no one is looking at the overall whole picture,
Yeah.
and you end up with multiple prescriptions, and you
Yeah.
feel like crap.
And the
Yeah.
one constant through all of them is the patient, and they're the only ones that know about all the other people. You
Yeah,
know?
you're
So
right.
it's a real challenge. Yeah.
And that's what we start with the objective analysis ones. First, sick people need drugs, so you get them healthy. First, you get the nervous system checked, get them to sleep correctly, get them to eat correctly, and then 2 weeks of that, and they're doing healthy supplements. I mean, we're talking just basic stuff.
Right.
Vitamin C, vitamin D, some mineral supplements, maybe an iodine and omega-3.
Yeah.
So basic. And 2 weeks of that. Then check their blood pressure. Okay, after deep breathing for 10 minutes, and blood pressure is the easiest one. So you sit there, your arm is resting level with your heart. You deep breathe diaphragmatically, not like an American. You breathe where your stomach comes out, then for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And if people say, well, gee, is breathing 10 minutes really going to help? Okay, look up Respirate. It's a $350 machine. It forces you to deep breathe for 15 minutes. Approved by the FDA, better than 2 blood pressure drugs.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, and it'll lower your blood pressure all day.
Interesting.
I'm just asking to breathe deep for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And you save $350, go out to a good weekend away.
There you go. Yeah. So this is what's
There if you want it.
This is what's so awesome is that it's so empowering to take control of your health. Like it's so when these people get off of 18 medications
I
or
know.
10 medications, that's got to be like, man, what can they not do?
So liberating.
It's so
much
liberating.
fun.
Yeah.
And plus they see it, oh my God, it's low.
Right.
They develop a dialogue with the doctor, okay, and they stop one.
Right.
and it's still low. And doctors always has the same conversation. You know, this is the silent killer, and you'll be on these the rest of your life. And okay, well, when they stop them, they still have the same blood pressure.
Right.
And that, well, you can cut it in half, but you're going to be on it the rest of your life because it's a silent. So you cut it in half and it still doesn't change.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doc, hey, look, it's the 3rd week. I'm on the 4th drug. Okay, should I cut it in half again? Yes, but you're going to be on it all the time because it's the silent killer blood pressure. And it was like, holy shit, is this a broken record? Okay, and then you're going to see, once you cut it in half 2 weeks, cut the next one in half 2 weeks, cut the next one in half 2 weeks, and pretty soon, it's still the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get these guys, and I'm talking, you know, from 20 years old that are on blood pressure medications to
Wow,
80 years old, and they're coming in, and they're like little kids.
That's amazing.
Dr. Bergman, do you know what my blood pressure was this morning? I said, I don't know, but I don't really care, but you're pretty excited, so tell me.
Don't keep me in suspense.
It was only
That's
blah,
funny.
blah, blah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's,
That's
Do
amazing.
you hear all the time about the white coat syndrome where people go in, like my mom, and they go to get their blood
Yep.
pressure, and it's just
Oh,
great,
right.
you know. But then they buy their own machine, they take it home. It's just such a better
That's fine.
experience. And
Yeah.
it's like, so you recommend probably everyone getting a machine. I mean,
it's
doing it in the
super
comfort of-
simple, super easy.
Yeah.
And then you know after 4 months they're never going to check it again because they're
Doing okay.
It's normal. If I don't
Right.
sit down and deep breathe for 10 minutes, it's going to be high. If I do sit down and deep breathe for 10 minutes, it's going to be normal. And
So one of the things that's a big pattern interrupt for me is understanding, after having been involved in this for so long, is that our bodies are self-healing, self-regulating, but they're always working for you. Because a lot of times what happens is people
Yes.
think, my body's doing something wrong. It shouldn't be making high blood pressure. Something's wrong with my body, but
It's attacking
me, and so
Oh,
flipping
God.
that all the way around is so important. That's one of the things that you talk about in the course, which is awesome, empowering information. But I mean, I'm sure you've had to do your fair share of educating people on that.
a couple days ago, okay, got a nurse at a very prominent hospital. 13 years she's been there. 13 years she's had lupus.
Oh wow.
13 years steroids, 13 years of the pain relievers, 13 years of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And of course she's forced to get the flu shot every year.
Oh.
And so I sat down and I said, what do you think started this? And she said, you know, when I first started working here, I felt great. She was only like 20 years old, a healthy young little nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And they forced them to get the hepatitis B shot and forced them to get the flu shot.
Oof.
And she developed joint pain and soreness after that. And she was moving, and she hurt her back, and she had never recovered. Her back pain's been there for forever.
Wow.
And of course, the endocrinologist who she loves, that's her boss, okay, gave her a little bottle of Tamiflu. So the first sign of a sniffle, she wants her to take it all through. And I know. And I said, so you really feel that the reaction to your body from this, and what they're telling you is, no, your body's attacking itself.
Yeah.
Don't trust it.
Don't trust it. And what a mind.
Yeah.
What does that do to you? I mean, this is our vehicle that we're going to take through this world for the next 120 years, and yours is defective?
Yeah.
Where did God screw up?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
I mean, self-healing and self-regulating, except now.
Yeah.
Okay? And she's going to be better 100%.
Well, the problem is too is that we're not taught this in school. This is the real problem, because we have this, like you said, this body that we ambulate and we use, and it's the form that we use to express ourselves and to experience life. But we're not taught any of this stuff in school, and this is why it's so important, I think, to partake in online education, courses, whatever that you can. I mean, we have all the courses inside our academy, but this is why it's so important for people to educate themselves. You and I were just talking about this today, to fill your mind with empowering information, and information that gives you ideas and options and choice. Because when you have choice, you have freedom.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Totally
know?
empowering.
I think it comes down to not being afraid of your body, though.
That's
Oh.
true.
I think we're all
God,
afraid
what
of
a
our
big
bodies. We're
one.
like, what's it doing?
Yeah.
Where's this? Like, we're not even educated, like, what the systems are, where the organs are, why things are shifting. Like, we're all afraid of what's going on in there. It's all mystery.
It's a mystery. Yeah, you
So
just
when you can debunk the mystery, it's a little less
Exactly.
frightening.
you
know,
swallow
like-
some food and it's a mystery. I don't know, something
Well,
happens.
there's
I
some
don't know.
stuff you don't want to talk about, like the nether region.
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
region.
That's true. That's true.
Who named it the nether
Yeah.
region?
I don't know, my nuns that I went to the Catholic school with. But
Yeah.
it's so much fun when you find out that your body is strong, healthy, and adaptive.
And that's the
Yeah.
default state.
It
That's
absolutely.
default.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so fun to see. I mean, just people that were slaves and totally disempowered. And I'm not talking like the standard person that had a stroke and they recovered their ability to walk or speak.
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We got this one guy that's just, oh my God, I hug him every time I see him, because when I first saw him, he was drooling on himself, couldn't speak, and he figured, man, this is it. This is the
it.
rest of his life.
Yeah.
Please push me in front of a bus.
Totally.
And then, he was a swap meet vendor, and he
Oh,
loves deals. Okay, so he likes bargain. And now he can speak a little bit. He can move his hands. He can shake my hand now,
Wow.
and he's got hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
And-
awesome is
and
that?
You see the same joy in people that just got off of their blood sugar's normal.
Yeah.
Their blood pressure's normal. It's like, dude, I'm no longer afraid of my body. My body is strong, healthy, and adaptive. All I had was a deficient, toxic lifestyle. How can it be just I drank a little bit of more water and my
Yeah.
blood pressure normalizes?
Yeah.
How can it be that we have a plant-based diet and my body works better? I just walk a half an hour a day.
Yeah.
Little, tiny changes. And the-
Everybody can do.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so much fun. That's
Yeah.
what the education is the key. The
Amen.
education is the key.
Yeah, the
Totally.
education is the key. It's massive, and understanding too. Like we were talking about, it's so important to know what your stressors are. Like you said, if someone's doing hairspray or makeup, it's like when you start educating yourself. Like Oprah says, when you know better,
you do better.
You do better. And it's so true. So when you start understanding all the little things that are affecting you and that are massive stressors, but you don't feel them, like Wi-Fi, all kinds of stuff.
Running all night through you.
Yeah.
You're not aware of it. But
So learning is key. Learning is so key.
Chronic regional pain syndrome, fibromyalgia, anxiety, and stress on hairdressers. First question I ask,
Yep.
do you do Brazilians?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
blowout.
that's the worst one, right?
That's the most toxic thing ever.
I left a salon over that.
You should have like
Gas
a
mask.
mask.
World War II.
Maybe shave the person's head, do the Brazilian outside, and staple it back to the head or something.
Something.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, those are, I bet you see, those are really toxic things.
All
and
the time.
Women are signing up for them, paying tons of money to get that stuff done.
And you can detox the person and
Ooh.
Yeah.
you know.
So what's cool about the academy and what we have going on in there is that we have such an awesome, supportive community.
I love our community.
It's so cool, man. Like
I love you guys.
people are writing in, people are responding. There's hundreds of people in there, all interacting with each other, sharing empowering information. Like it's super cool to read people's stories and to interact with them, and it's just really cool because when you have like a health issue, a health challenge, if you can bounce that idea off of a few hundred different people and get some really really dialed in solutions for you, that's really powerful. It's really really powerful. Yeah.
People are
That-
getting hope.
And
Yeah.
that's that when we get people that have, absolutely no hope, depression for 20 years or incurable disease or anything else, and they don't know, because on the bottom of our entrance form, I always have this thing, after they fill out all the symptoms, do you want to get better? And I have a yes or a no box. And people can check no, and because they don't know. And
Wow.
those people, I say, look, man, we're going to get you better, because health is the natural state of the body. Everybody does get better. I know it sounds crazy, but everybody does. Okay, and yeah, I want you to write a book. Okay, start taking notes now, because people that have come from the dark pit of hell can speak about health with ultimate authority.
Yeah.
And you're gonna save lives. And then
Yeah.
all of the people, you see that glimmer of hope, and their body does get better.
It's amazing. It's so
Yeah,
amazing.
humans rock.
Yeah. We're pretty cool creatures, aren't we?
We are.
Well,
We're relentless.
isn't that right, guys?
Isn't that right? Little growing humans.
Growing humans.
No, I agree. I think it's just about it's about waking up to not being scared of our body,
Mm-hmm.
finding how our body works and
Yes.
solutions, and like I love this new course because it's just simple things. I mean, it's you can take them so many levels deeper, and the emotional, you can go levels beyond like what we're even.
Yeah.
We're just bringing to mind these things that I think are really helpful.
I mean, this course has 34 videos that you
crazy.
did for this, all with
Fist bump on
research
that.
and analysis and data to
huge.
prove.
I like. Can I do that again? 'Cause
Yeah.
I-
Does that
I
feel
like,
empowering?
I like the vote.
We gotta blow it up.
That's amazing.
It's
Yeah.
huge. It's huge.
It's it's
And
really,
that
really
wasn't even released 24 hours ago. Was it about 24 hours
just
ago?
24 hours
Right
ago
now.
on the 14th.
Okay.
So it's amazing. So if you guys don't know what we're doing inside the academy, I would highly recommend looking into the academy and signing up for it, because it is a premier thing that there's no one else or no other website that's doing what we're doing, and our plans for the academy are just massive. We have so many things that we're going to be adding. Website features, website upgrades, different training tutorials, quick tips videos. There's all kinds of just amazing content.
The forums, the interaction,
Yeah.
and the upcoming webinars. And
It's amazing.
what's neat is they're going to be also tailor-made to certain questions.
Yeah.
So
Right,
so
right.
this way, if there's, Jesus, how do we really do this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the key to change the world. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is, to empower you to know that your health is your natural state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know that's a radical statement. Your body is self-healing and regulating. I know that's a radical statement. Why is it a radical statement? Because it's an ignorant, toxic world. And how many doctors go in, you sit down there with all these health challenges and say, look, and your body's smart, this is an intelligent response, we're going to get you healthy.
Yeah.
You don't see that.
But that's the academy.
Yeah, that's why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
To educate people and to empower people to understand there's hope. That's the thing. People lose hope, and I think that's super, super powerful to have that hope in their life, and understand that it is possible to reverse disease. It's possible. People have done it,
Yeah.
All the time, because disease was really written a lack of ease, dis-ease. And so it's just an intelligent response of the body based on toxicity and deficiency, because disease as an entity doesn't really exist.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the shape of high blood pressure? Oh,
Yeah.
really? What's it weigh? What does cancer look like outside of the body? Or is cancer just a reaction from a toxic, deficient lifestyle? So it's...
And fixing that lifestyle so that all of those stressors get diminished is really what the key of health is, because it's like getting rid of the things that are covering up what our default state is,
Sure.
right?
I'm going to air bump you.
Totally.
It's true.
You know what the coolest part is? It has been about 3 weeks, you guys. It
Really?
hasn't even been a full month.
Oh, wow.
We launched the 21st
That's
of
right.
January. We're only on the 15th of February. And already this community is, it's just starting. It's a baby. And
That's
it's so
amazing.
exciting to
Yeah.
watch.
We're going to take over the world
We are.
with all these healthy people. I want
Hope will
healthy
take over the
people
world.
to infect others with health.
Yes, yes.
Amen. Amen.
I
It's
love
going to
it.
be fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
It's
it.
cool. So every month we're doing a new course, and members get to vote for the course. So just a little info about how the academy works. Every month we're doing a new course, and members get to vote. So the next course is going to be about the nervous system, because everyone voted for that. So that's
Dun, dun,
that's
dun.
amazing. So that's going to be fun.
gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And every single month we do a free challenge. So the free challenges come with prizes, and it's free for anybody to join, which is amazing. And it's all designed to help all of us put into practice daily things like you're talking about. Daily things you can do every single day that are super easy to get out in the sun, ground yourself, drink more water. These are all super easy things. So the challenges are free every single month. Inside the Membership Academy is one of the most powerful things, I think, is the health tracker.
Yes.
That is awesome, because you get to track your ketone levels, your pH, your blood pH, your saliva pH, your cholesterol, your body mass index, your blood pressure, all these different areas of your health you get to track and graph it over time.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
There's no other service or website that's doing that. And what's cool is that there's videos of you talking about what to look for, how to do it, how often to do it, what equipment to use, and what the numbers mean. So we guide you through this whole process, which is awesome.
Pretty practical.
Don't you want to see the conversation between somebody that's gone through, they got the cortisol checked, the cholesterol checked, the triglycerides checked, they have all this data, and they go up and they say, you know, doc, I stopped those cholesterol drugs, I went to a plant-based diet, I changed my sleep patterns, I exercise a half hour a day, and so here's the drugs that you sold me, and I tracked my data, and I'm actually pretty darn healthy now.
Yeah.
Perhaps you should get your patients doing the same thing.
You would hope. You would hope. So that
Yeah.
So
Hey, I got a
I
goal.
love the laugh. The laugh's the best.
It's gonna happen.
You're
it's gonna
infectious.
happen.
It
Yeah,
will.
it's cool. I'm really
People are
excited.
waking up.
I'm excited about the health tracker option.
Yeah,
You know,
for
it's
sure.
really awesome, and we're going to be adding more to that over time. So that's going to be really, really cool. The community forum is just, I love that. It is so fun to interact with other people and to hear their stories and have people like, someone will ask a question about high blood pressure or something, and there'll be 4 or 5 responses like within a day of different people offering their solutions
People
to that.
really care
It's
about each
amazing.
other. It's
I know.
neat. People
They-
really care
They
about
do.
other
Yeah.
people.
We're a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've attracted the most amazing people.
Yeah,
It's
it's
awesome.
really neat.
Yeah, so there's so many different components, and so we're going to be building a resource list also of like healing centers around the world and in the United States, places to go, like find a spring, where to go get spring water, different recommended products that we like. It's just full of just amazing resources.
Yeah.
And it's something too that I, having been in this field since 2003, almost in a full-time way since then, and you've been in it for more than 22 years, this is just something that I've wanted for myself. So with that whole area, so we're going to be breaking up when we do the monthly Q&A calls. We're going to be breaking up when someone asks about high blood pressure, someone asks about migraine headaches or heartburn. We'll be taking each of those out individually and alphabetizing them. So if someone just wants to search on that thing, they'll be able to get all the data for that. So it's amazing. Yeah, it's really cool.
You're doing an awesome job
Yeah,
on that.
it's fun.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm not really skilled with computers. I was trying to fix yours with a hammer.
Didn't
We're
happen.
about to.
Didn't happen.
For those that are in the chat room, so cool to have you guys. Tonight wasn't going to be a lot of question answer, but we are going to do that within the Academy at the next. When is our live webinar? The 25th of February?
I believe it's the 25th of
So
February.
we are going to try to get a lot of those member
Yes.
questions asked in rapid fire or go into a little more detail, whatever we need to do. But I heard a couple people say, are they going to answer any questions? And last time we did a lot. This time it's one of those, we're just telling people what's in our course.
And more of a teaching
Yeah,
aspect.
hopefully you guys gain something great.
So what's cool is that your waiting list for you're booked up for 6 months.
Yeah,
Is that
more.
No, a bit
November.
more. We're
Bit
booking
more?
in 2019 now.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
all right, so there's a lot of people out there that would love to have access to you. So the best way to do that is to join the Academy, and every month we'll be doing a monthly Q&A call with you. It's called the Mastermind. So we're all going to get together, have a Q&A call, and offer insights and tips and questions and answers.
This is going to sound weird, but that's one of the reasons I want to do this is because there's so many people out there, and I mean, our clinic, I've got 5 docs, and we're maxed, and so we can only see so many, a very small portion of the planet, and to have another avenue where we can put something out there that can get more people better faster,
yeah.
because they're suffering needlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every month we'll be doing a Q&A call, answering questions, and it's going to be available only for the Academy members. So if you guys are interested in the Academy, go over to extremehealthacademy.com. Sign up. There's a monthly option and a yearly option. And what's cool about this is that you kind of mentioned this a little bit, is that we're going to be giving a bonus to those of you who sign up. And I got to ask Mike behind the camera here how long this is going to last for. But we're giving away a course that Dr. Berkman created all about sleep. So sleep is one of the key components here and sort of one of the fundamental areas of health. And if you don't have your sleep dialed in correctly, everything else sort of cascades off of that. So you did an entire course on sleep that we're going to give people access to for
neat.
free for signing up. So if anybody wants access to that course, if you sign up today, you will get access to that course. So how will we do that, Mike? We
Give them a code.
We'll give them a code, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll give a code to everyone who signs up, and you'll get access to the sleep course, which is awesome.
I think it's really,
Yeah.
even though I only do it like 7 hours a night,
Yeah.
or 6.5, 7 hours a night, it's vital. It's how healing starts.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
wants to know if you can buy the sleep course. This is something we're just doing right now as a giveaway for signups.
You can, and you want to know how in charge I am? I don't know how to do it. Michael, my son, would
Yeah,
know.
that's right.
My oldest boy
Oh.
would know.
All right.
Yeah, so we give it away for free for signing up. And so this is a video course with Dr. Bergman going into all of these details we just kind of basically covered over in this short webinar, but this is a super in-detail course that he did on video, teaching all of the strategies he's learned over 22 years of practice, probably 30 years of being into health, some cutting-edge stuff. So make sure to sign up, and we'll send you a code, a specific code, and you'll get access to that sleep course. So go over to extremehealthacademy.com, sign up for either the monthly or the yearly option, and you will get access to that
That's so
sleep
cool.
course. Yeah,
Thanks for
Yeah.
making that.
pretty cool, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd have to ask one of my kids.
Yeah.
Or I would go to Extreme
You
Health
show up.
Academy.
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll deal with that later. No,
All
it's
right.
exciting though. Hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, so also when you sign up, also go over and introduce yourself to the community. That is something that's massive and something that I love to connect with everyone. Kate's in there, Mike's in there, and we're all talking to each other, and I would love to connect with you inside the community. So when you sign up, make sure to go over there, introduce yourself, say hello, where you're from. There's people from Alaska, Ireland, Europe, Australia, China. It's amazing. People all over the world signing up. So it's really, it's humbling for me to be a part of this, because to be a part of helping people heal and changing the world is just awesome. So
huge.
yeah, so I encourage all you guys to sign up to the Academy and also introduce yourself to the community. That way we can all band together and be one big family and help each other.
Great. And on a closing note, because there wasn't people kind of filtered in, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if we announced the winners of this challenge. We had a technical glitch
A technical
before we started,
snafu.
so we weren't able to get our what do you call that?
Our internet working.
Well, in our program up, so we could
Right.
tell the winners. So we're going to be announcing those tomorrow. Sorry,
So
guys.
Dr. Bergman, stay tuned to his Facebook channel tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And if you haven't liked or followed Dr. Bergman on Facebook, do that so that you can see the who's going to win. So the
3 prizes.
the 3 prizes this month are the BELLICON rebounder,
Yes.
which is like
It's
the
huge.
Rolls Royce of rebounding.
That
Yeah.
is. I don't
It's-
even have one in my office.
They're
I got a
insane.
cheaper one.
Yeah, we
There,
got to
I know.
get you a good one.
Yeah.
The
That's
BELLICON
next.
is just awesome. So that's the first prize, and that's a massive first prize. Second prize is this little guy right here, which is a Defender Shield EMF
Ooh.
blocking
Can you be Vanna?
device.
Can you? Ooh, you're such a good model.
And
It's awesome.
yeah, so when
Good job.
Oh, that's
when
very cool.
Yeah,
we
thanks,
learned
Brian.
that Kate was pregnant, it's really important to block EMF, especially from laptops. And so this is why we have one of these. And so we're giving away one of these as well. And the third prize is an amazing product by a friend of our show, is Matt Blackburn, and he has an awesome product called MITOLIFE, which is an algae-based DHA product.
So
And
cool.
It's so these babies are being built on MITOLIFE.
They're sponsored by
They're
Mito.
sponsored by MITOLIFE. So it's an incredible DHA product.
Super pure,
Yeah.
super organic,
Oh my
has a
God.
good lemon flavor.
In
and
Myron
it's great.
Glass. This guy is
Myron
on
Glass,
top of it.
yeah.
So we'll be giving away a bottle of that as the third prize.
Anybody who wins any of these things, you guys are stoked.
Yeah, it's amazing. So stay tuned to Dr. Bergman's Facebook channel tomorrow, Facebook page, and you'll be announcing, right?
As soon as I get the info, I'll put it on.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
we'll also be contacting you, so if you're not around or you're working, you're not going to lose out because you
Yeah, we'll be
weren't
contacting
watching
you.
it,
Yeah.
you know. So.
Boy, I would run it to where if you snooze, you lose.
Ah!
You guys are so
harsh.
much nicer.
Awesome.
Dr.
Well,
Bergman's so mean.
That's what I tell people.
all right, well,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Guys,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. We love connecting with you every single month after these webinars. So we'll be announcing the new webinar, actually the new challenge starting January 1st at, I'm
January
sorry,
1st.
March 1st
March
at
1st.
extremehealthchallenge.com.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be fun.
And by the way, all of these challenges are archived inside the Academy. So all the videos, all of the emails, and all the information that goes with these challenges goes inside the Academy.
So like somebody could start like the first challenge anytime.
So what's cool is that you can pick a bunch of
Oh,
friends
neat.
inside the community and say, hey, maybe 4 or 5 people want to do the 21-day challenge we did last month. They can start that tomorrow. And so we'll be having little clubs inside the community where people can do that. So it's really
It's
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that's
you,
awesome.
you yourself started a little club within a club
That's right.
last Sunday.
Yes,
Yeah, he had a group of people that were talking back and forth about doing a water or a fast all day.
that's
So
right.
they all had each other. There's a couple
Yeah.
of them, and you did it.
Yeah, so
It's
just
cool to have that accountability.
I had never been able to do a 1-day fast before. I'm not the
Not his
best
strong
faster.
point.
I lose weight if I just don't work out for a day. It's like I lose weight quick. So I've never been drawn to it, but learning the benefits of fasting, I know you do it a couple days a week, but learning the benefits of fasting, I've always wanted to do it, and I've never been able to do it. And I always give in and I break like 4 or 5 o'clock. I just
What
break.
day did you pick?
I picked
Sunday.
last Sunday. And I know you
Okay.
told me
Busiest day of the week.
busiest day of the week, yeah. So fortunately Sunday
It's
I
fine.
was busy Sunday. So
But you had a group of people that were like, I'm in it with you. It
yeah.
was so cool.
So having a group of people in the community go through it with me was awesome. So we were going back and forth, and one of the people that was doing it, Leslie, in Georgia, she was 3 hours ahead of us, and she was doing it with her husband, and it's awesome
keep
to have
going,
that support.
you're almost there.
yeah.
3 hours ahead, like keep going.
And I needed it because I'm not a good faster, so having that accountability is awesome.
Success story already.
Yeah, success
That's
story.
So it
congratulations.
is a cool
man.
community to
Yeah.
build that, and you can do the challenges, and it's fun.
Definitely. So go over to extremehealthacademy.com, sign up, and we will see you on the inside, and we'll connect with each other and help you on your health journey and empower you, educate you, and make friends. And it's going to be an awesome place, right?
See you on the inside.
See
If you
you
could
on-
hear our voice, you're part of the revolution.
That's right.
I like that.
That's right. All right,
Love you
guys.
guys.
Love you. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll
Thank
see you on the inside.
God bless you
Bye.
guys.